Other question? Walter?
Well, just a comment, I think I appreciate the timing quandary that people are finding themselves in, but the application for the zoning amendment to the City of Moscow states the reason for it is for proposed school, signed by the applicant. So I don't think it's out of the realm of belief that we're kind of talking about a school here.
Question for Catherine. Catherine, you were liaison to P&Z when this came in front of them. Would you like to speak?
I think Mike said everything, that it just had to do, actually a lot of the same comments came forward, the same people spoke, and it was good they had to say, but it was the same thing, that we can't go forward until we get the rezone done. So we have to decide if we're going to rezone or not rezone. That's kind of what we're being asked to do.
Okay.
Mayor Gary, I think, might have something.
Gary,
yeah, I'd just like to reiterate the point that you made, Your Honor. The request tonight is for annexation and rezone, or making the comp plan designation and then a zone to R2. Anything could go out there if the application for a school comes through. As Mike indicated, it requires a conditional use permit, so any conditions that are necessary to make that particular use compatible can be put on the property at that time and on the development. And of course, any development of the property will have to comply with the development standards and street standards that have been passed by the City Council. So all of those issues will be taken up at that time.
Okay.
Mike, in all the housing in this area, is that all R2 as well?
Correct.
So it would be the adjoining. If for some reason this became was annexed into the city at R2, then in other words, that couldn't be. There'd have to be a zoning change if somebody wanted to build a bunch of apartments there or something. It would have to be. It could only be the same kind of housing that's adjacent.
Correct. Yeah. Generally, all the newer subdivisions you see zoned R2 being annexed into the city. Correct.
Okay. More questions for Mike before I close the public hearing. Public hearing is closed, and we will deliberate amongst the council. Dan.
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about it a little bit up here during the public hearing part, but, really the plan for the property doesn't play into the decision tonight. This is just based on the merits of the rezone and the comp plan designation and whether it's worth annexing into the city. Because as stated, when the plan does come in, we normally require the developer to make those improvements to the infrastructure to make what they're going to do to the property work. And I can remember, was it 2003 or 2? When was it 5? When the Moscow School District was making the attempt out there as well through a failed bond. So I think. With that, I would make a motion to approve the annexation ordinance under suspension of the rules, requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it'll be read by title and published by summary.
A second.
Okay. Further discussion before I take a roll? Walter?
Just a general comment, and it's personal. We're getting a fair number of this type of thing come through. Not schools but it's rezones or different changes in zoning or whatever. And I would be a lot happier if the applicant themselves appeared at these. I can appreciate Scott being their representative. I appreciate him being on the payroll. I can appreciate the good job he does for his clients. And they are not required to be here, but I would just feel better if the applicant showed up as if they wanted it. Just a personal comment.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'd just like to make note that in our packet on page 108 and 109, there's 5 reasons given for the relevant criteria and standards comprehensive plan amendment that you can read, and then there's 5 also reasons for the rezone, and everything's in compliance.
Thank you, Catherine. With that, Walter, I'll start to roll with you.
Aye.
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 Okay. We have approval of the annexation. We got an ordinance 2016-6. You said 6, Lori? Okay, an ordinance of the City of Moscow a municipal corporation of the state of Idaho, providing that the land described in Section 1 of this ordinance and generally shown on Exhibit A attached hereto, and incorporated by the reference be annexed to the city of Moscow, providing that the provisions of this ordinance be deemed severable, and providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after passage, approval, and publication according to law. Okay, that's number 1. Now we've got to talk about number 2, which is a comprehensive plan, land use, designation, resolution, and adoption of the Planning and Zoning Commission reasons statement of relevant criteria.
I think this follows right along with the annexation. Once you annex, you have to decide where that piece of land fits within the comprehensive plan, and I think the proposed designation fits with the intent of the comprehensive plan. Auto urban residential.
Okay.
Hearing no others, I would make a motion to approve the proposed comprehensive plan land use designation resolution and to adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission's reasoned statement of relevant criteria.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Art and a second by Jim to approve the proposed comprehensive plan use designation resolution and adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission reasoned statement of relevant criteria. We're all clear on that? John, I'll start the roll with you.
Aye.
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 Okay. Now we'll move on to item number 3, which is approval of the zoning ordinance under this, well, I'll let you, zoning ordinance, I'll leave it at that. John?
Yeah, I would move that since the annexation ordinance was approved and the land use designation is approved, that we approve the proposed zoning ordinance under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it be read by title, published by summary, and adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission reason statements of relevant criteria.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion by John, a second by Dan to approve the proposed zoning ordinance under the suspension of 3 rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and to be read and titled by published by summary, and adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission reasoned statement of relevant criteria.
And I would say that many of the concerns expressed tonight during the comment period from the public are perhaps a little premature for the actions proposed here tonight, and will certainly come up again as development proceeds and conditional use permits are required for the ostensibly proposed development that will occur on the site. So you get another chance to sink your teeth into what seems to be more the concerns of the neighbors and the citizens of town.
Okay, with that, I'll start the roll with Walter.
Aye.
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 Okay. So now we have ordinance number 2016-7. An ordinance of the City of Moscow, Idaho, a municipal corporation of Idaho, providing for the zoning of a 30-acre parcel of property described in Section 1 of this ordinance as moderate-density, single-family residential, R2, providing that the provisions of this ordinance be deemed severable, providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. Thank you, everyone, very much.
Walter had
Oh, Walter,
If I may,
comment?
a comment?
Sure.
Dan said this, I think, a moment ago, and I just wanted to reiterate it for the purposes of the people that do have concerns, as Art just pointed out, and I'll let Les look straight at me and correct me if I misstate it. But cities do not extend water, sewer, and streets as a rule. It's very seldom that cities do that. Developers of property extend and bring to themselves either new water, sewer, and streets or enlargement of water, sewer, and streets. So, as has been indicated a couple of times around the periphery of the questions, that's what the city will be looking to the developer to do on this. And again, as Art was inferring, would invite each and every one of you to come back when that comes before us and, see what's being proposed and express any concerns you may have at that time. We're not ignoring you. That's just not the issue before us tonight.
Well, the thing, in addition to Walter's point, there'll be 2 times. You'll have the public planning and zoning as well as this body up here, so it'll be several different times. That, Mike, thank you very much.
Yeah.